Hello everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat. Hey everybody, Cantonese Cat here. We're going to do a brief members update on my portfolio here real quick. I just wanted to share with you that I did not buy so much Palantir that it got so big, right? I did not buy so much Tesla that it's gotten so big, right? I did not buy NVIDIA so much that it's gotten so big on my pie. Matter of fact, I allocate probably because I have Mrs. Cat. I probably allocate half the money coming in into like index funds, and half the money coming in I just buy what I want to buy when I see it, being favorable, individual stocks, things like that, right? So that's why you're seeing a lot of these kind of exposure to Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, Apple, AVGO. Like I would otherwise probably not even want to put any money in index funds, except that it's different from Mrs. Cat's risk tolerance here. And also on top of that, I do have a position in T triple Qs and also a position in SSO, so it's triple leverage Nasdaq and double leverage SPY. And those have been doing incredibly well, so that's why all these are kind of popping up here with the Max 7. But I just want to kind of show you like why I mean by what are even talking about, like why am I even pointing out like they weren't that big, just to kind of go for a little bit of a psychological journey here for Palantir. I'm going to shut this off here because you don't really need any of that. For Palantir, a lot of people were saying back in December of 2022 that Palantir is a crap stock. It's absolutely crappy. The trend is horrible. The earnings were horrible. Initially, they're promising like 30% growth rate annually. And down here in December, like there's no growth rate. But there were some optimistic things that are being shown here on the chart, right? For example, you see the weekly, you start to see a lot of bullish divergence that's really been building up here, right? You can see that there's some bullish divergence that are building up here. You can see how the trend can be reversing at any time. And you can see how that it's basically just been forming a very, very similar fractal here, where you have a very parabolic top, like you have a parabolic bottom over here, followed by a little bit of a head and shoulder before going down. And here I was kind of spotting maybe a little bit of an inverted head and shoulder. So I just basically just kept on DCAting all along the range, right? I actually started with a small position over here, right? I was buying up to the 20s. I did not buy up here. And it was going down. I actually kept on buying, and as it was down here, I actually ended up buying a lot more, right? Because I actually, when I was doing all this, I wasn't doing much technical analysis here at all. But the technical analysis, I really started maybe around like 3 years or so. And I just started kind of posting charts nonstop for about 3 years. And that's kind of how I learned technical analysis, by doing it, by being ridiculed, by just having people telling me that I'm doing it wrong. Some people are very nice about telling me and I learn from them. Other people just tell you that you're doing it wrong and like you're like, okay. When it's actually no rationale at all, and they probably are the ones who are wrong, so there's nothing to learn from them. Regardless, 3 years of charting, allowing me to go through the extremely horrible phase of a downtrend here, right? My cost average of a Palantir it was probably like 12, like 10 or 12 or something like that when price is down at like 5 or 6, right? And I kept averaging down, right? And then as it keeps on going up, I kept averaging up right around, as long as prices underneath 2021, I said I was going to keep averaging up, and I did, right? So right now my cost average is probably somewhere around like, I want to say like 15 or 16, I don't remember anymore. But yeah, it's extremely painful, and a lot of people can. If I wasn't that big at that time, right? My account was very, very small. My account was probably maybe like a few hundred followers or something like that. And yeah, nobody said that I racked them. Like nobody said that I am being too bullish on a stock that's obviously bearish and done nothing, right? I don't care. I think that was the benefit of being a small account, is I can just do whatever I want, impose whatever I want, and it doesn't matter. Tesla, my second biggest position, you can see that extremely painful, right? I added down here, added all the way up to the 230s, 240s, right? Once you get to like 300, I was like, no, I'm not adding. I thought it was probably going to break through here potentially, right? Just like a lot of people end up getting pretty bullish when things are up here. Maybe a little bit of a consolidation here and it just goes up. No, it decided to come back down and make another low, right? I was too bullish on Tesla in 2023. I'm not gonna lie. This is how I met the Tesla tracker, because he was the one who really pointed me the right way, right? But who cares? Accumulate, shut my brain off. Accumulate anything that's less than 200. Did what I had to, and then like right now it's just kind of run away, right? Nobody's really that skeptical about what Tesla's gonna do. Everybody's super bitter over here, right? So the reason why I'm even saying, and so also same thing, right? Another is top position of mine, SoFi. I actually I didn't know what I was doing back in 2021. I was kind of buying these lows over here. I was very small position around like the cost average of 14, because I thought I was being smart buying at the bottom of the range here before it took off, right? I wasn't thinking about liquidity. I wasn't thinking about cycle. I wasn't thinking about any of that, right? For the last 3 years, oh, did I learn, right? I kept on averaging down whenever prices got below 8 o'clock, not 8 o'clock, about below $8, right? I kept on averaging down when cost is below $8. And I averaged it down all the way around here because I thought that it was a favorable setup, even though banks were failing and price went all the way down in like May of 2023, down to like $4 again. Everybody was super scared. You know, there were bankruptcies happening with banks. And I just kept averaging down. I remember I probably had like maybe like about 1,000 followers, something like that, on X. And there were some couple crazy folks that were just kind of dollar cost averaging down here with me, right? And when I was just basically telling everybody, I was like, yeah, below $8 is a buy, buy, right? Push up here, everybody got super bullish on SoFi. I got bullish on SoFi too. Initially thought, hey, maybe this is the buck of the downtrend. Maybe it's going to keep going up after consolidation sideways here. No, making a very brutal downtrend over here, and it just kept on going back down to like $6. Everybody's scared. Everybody's sad, and I just kept saying, hey, Jackie Chan meme, anything less than $8, buy, right? It was an extremely brutal 2 or 3 years. It worked out well. I think this is a true breakout. I don't think it's going to go down, that much further anymore. I think this is it, Maybe it would go down a lot further than I thought it would. Possible. But I don't care, because I average down, my cost average is less than $8 right now, right? So I don't really care what it does, honestly. So why am I saying all this? The whole reason why I'm saying all this is because a lot of my major holdings here have done the same thing. A firm has done the same thing. It was extremely brutal. Cloudflare has done the same thing. It was extremely brutal. Robinhood has done the same thing. It was extremely painful, right? But I didn't buy down here. I got smart. I was like, Robinhood, it looks like the downtrends is bucking. It looks like it's going to go up soon, right? So what did I do? I ended up buying over here, right? My cost average for Robinhood is it's around $12. Not around $12, exactly $12, right? But can you imagine how painful it was to accumulate over here? And can you imagine how painful it is to try to figure out whether or not to enter Robinhood here at this point, right? Shopify, another one of those that have been extremely brutalizing, right? I started buying Shopify when it was around $50. I bought all the way down here, bought here. So why am I saying all this? The reason why I'm saying all this is because of one thing, and one thing only. Because a lot of people are very bitter when it comes to Bitcoin miners, right? So for example, with CleanSpark, I start buying when price is down here, right? I didn't really start a position on CleanSpark until maybe like the end of 2023. Start buying when it was around $8, right? Went up here a lot higher. Start buying at the bottom of the range around like 14, 15, somewhere around there. Came back down here into single digits again. Buy, right? Here I didn't really buy anymore because I think I have enough, right? My cost average is probably somewhere around 11 point something. So I'm still at like a few percentage unrealized loss. But I just kind of want to show you, like, this is nothing compared to what I was seeing with other stocks that I've gone through. The only problem is everybody's buying this, expecting this to moon because Bitcoin mooned, and it didn't, right? And they were thinking about dilution, they're thinking about private jets, they're thinking about all kinds of narratives that are justifying their thoughts in terms of why things are down. The reason why things are down is because they've gone up a lot and they had to cool down, right? There's really not much to it. The move from here to here was like a 13-15x, when Bitcoin only went up maybe around like 5x. So yeah, completely reasonable for it to cool down, right? Same thing with Mara. Can you imagine how painful it is to buy this range over here? With the possibility of this being a potential distribution, a lot of people are worried that this is a distribution phase, it's just going to go down, right? When in reality, at this point in the cycle, it just looks like it's accumulation. When in reality, look at the volume, it looks like it's accumulation, because whenever it goes down, it's on declining volume. Whenever it goes up, it's on high volume, right? So to me, I think that there is very little doubt to me that this is most likely reaccumulation. And I can also tell you that there's no reason to think that it's not, because the institutional data is telling you that this is reaccumulation, right? With significant increase in institutional holding. Some people are saying, oh, it's just ETFs, whatever. Well, but it's still a lot of buying pressure coming in. Right now, the only thing that's really holding Mara down is shorts. I guess is what I'm trying to say. I guess is I guess it's what am I trying to say? I'm not really. I'm kind of phased. I think my account got bigger. A lot of people got really bitter about CleanSpark and Mara and like Bitcoin miners because their expectations are not met. But to me, I actually still think that it's a pretty decent opportunity here. I ended up not buying anymore here. I did end up buying more BTBT, but I ended up not buying here anymore. Just because I don't really feel like I wanted to buy anymore. I bought a lot at the range lows over here. Like, I'm good, right? And it looks like there's enough volume here coming in. I think this thing could take off. I could end up, loading the last part of it before it does, but I just don't really feel like really wanting to do that anymore because I'm finding other opportunities. And I'm gonna share with my members here what the opportunities that I have that I've been talking about for the last few weeks that I've been buying, right? That's probably going to be a little bit of a separate video. I actually want to make this video public now. Initially, I was just going to do a little bit of a members-only portfolio update, but I just wanted to share these thoughts. Like I'm not a great day trader. I'm a terrible day trader. You know why? Because I don't day trade. I probably have sold stocks maybe like 20 or 30 times in 2024. I don't day trade that much. I don't make that many changes to my portfolio. The truth is that it looks like it's very, very painful and the sentiment is absolutely horrible. And based on my past experience with the majority of my stocks that have gone up a lot, that's actually what might be required for it to go up a lot higher. I do not guarantee you that miners are going to do okay, because there's never any guarantee. You can also see that miners are not going to make or break my portfolio. If they all end up going to zero, I lose Mara, I lose CleanSpark, I lose Cypher, I lose Bitfarms, I also lose Iron and BTPT and Wolf that are not my top 20 positions. But if I lose those, it's not going to make or break. It's going to be disappointing, but that's okay. Do I think that's going to happen? No, I don't think that's going to happen. That's why I'm still holding on to them, right? That's why I'm still adding to BTBT. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts here in terms of how these stocks got to where they are and how I think some of the stocks are going to also get to where they're going to go as well. None of this is a guarantee because I'm just here sharing thoughts. And this is one of those things that there is never any guarantee in the market. The market is always going to make a fool out of us. If I'm too absolutism about anything, then I'm going to get burned from it. But do I think that the miners are a pretty decent setup here at this point. I still do. I'm just gonna leave it alone and not talking about like the specific technicals and things like that. I just wanted to clear the air about how my portfolio got to where it does and how it might end up working favorably for the miners moving forward, because things always look a little bit worse than you expect potentially before they look really good. Right? Remember this thing right here? And remember what SoFi did over here? Anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts today. Take care, guys. Bye.